Begin by preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. Here we are, embarking on another culinary adventure. Have you ever wondered how your favorite bakery gets their chocolate cake so moist and fluffy? The secret is in the minutiae, the attention to small details. So let's start by setting the stage correctly. First, make sure your oven is properly calibrated. It's important to know that your oven's heat distribution is even, and that the temperature you set is the temperature you get. Once you've done this, proceed to preheat it. The preheating process is, in fact, an integral part of baking, as it ensures your batter starts cooking as soon as it hits the oven. Now, onto the mixing part. Grab a large mixing bowl, not just any bowl, but a large one. This gives you plenty of room to stir and mix without making a mess. Sift 2 cups of all-purpose flour into the bowl. Sifting helps to remove any lumps from the flour and aerates it at the same time. This results in a lighter, more consistent texture in your baked goods. Next, add 1 3/4 cups of granulated sugar. The sugar will not only sweeten the cake but also help to make it tender and moist. Follow this with 3/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. The cocoa powder gives our cake its chocolate flavor, so make sure you choose a good quality one. After that, add 1½ teaspoons each of baking powder and baking soda. These are our leavening agents that will make our cake rise and give it that nice, fluffy texture. Don't forget to include 1 teaspoon of salt, as it will enhance all these flavors and bring them together. Once you've meticulously combined these dry ingredients, it's time to add some life to them. Crack open 2 large, free-range eggs and let them join our mix. Eggs add structure and stability to our batter. Then pour in 1 cup of whole milk. The milk adds, but it also helps to bind the ingredients together. Now add ½ cup of vegetable oil. The oil will give your cake a moist and tender crumb. Top it off with 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. The vanilla extract adds a depth of flavor that complements the cocoa perfectly. Stir until all these ingredients are thoroughly combined and you have a smooth mixture. Now comes the final step before we can place our batter in the oven. Carefully pour in 1 cup of boiling water. This might seem odd, but the boiling water helps the cocoa powder fully dissolve and bloom, resulting in a richer chocolate flavor. Stir your batter until everything is well blended. Don't be alarmed if the batter appears thin. That's exactly what we're aiming for. This is the consistency that will help create the moist, tender crumb we all love in a perfect chocolate cake. Now, prepare your cake pans. We're going to start this journey by focusing on our cooking equipment, the cake pans that will be the home for our batter in the upcoming stages. You will need 9-inch round pans, a standard size, but one that ensures your cake layers will be of the perfect thickness. Each pan needs to be prepared a certain way to ensure optimal results, and our first step in this process is to grease them. This is an important step, not to be overlooked, as it creates a barrier between the pan and the cake, allowing for easier removal once the baking is done. Use real butter for this process and apply it liberally, ensuring to coat every inch of the pan's interior. Butter not only prevents sticking but also adds a subtle flavor to the edges of your cake. Next, we're going to dust our buttered pans with cocoa powder. This may seem like a small, insignificant step, but it is not. Just as creates a non-stick surface, the cocoa powder also aids in this objective, but with an added bonus. It adds a hint of chocolate flavor to the cake's exterior, enhancing the overall flavor profile, and adds a lovely brown finish that's much more appealing than flour. But our pans are nothing without the main event, the batter. This velvety, sweet concoction is now ready for its transformation from liquid indulgence to solid delight. The time has come to divide the batter evenly between the 2 pans. This is a step that requires precision, as a perfectly balanced cake requires equal amounts of batter in each pan. Use a measuring cup or a scale if you must, but ensure that each pan gets its fair share. Now, carefully tap the pans on the counter. This isn't a step to test the durability of your countertops, but rather to remove air bubbles from the batter. These pesky bubbles can ruin the texture of the cake, causing it to be uneven, potentially affecting its rise. A gentle tap should suffice. We're not looking to cause an earthquake. The time has come to bake, the magical process where heat turns raw batter into a moist and fluffy delicacy. With your oven preheated, carefully slide the pans inside. The heat will slowly creep into the batter, initiating a series of chemical reactions that will see it rise and solidify into cake form. This process takes time, 30 to 35 minutes to be precise, It's an important period where you must exercise patience for the sake of perfect results. The final question remains: how will you know when your cakes are done? It's a question as old as baking itself, and the answer is simple, yet effective. A toothpick inserted into the center of the cake should come out clean. This tried and true method is a reliable indicator of doneness, ensuring that your cakes are baked to perfection, neither undercooked nor burnt. You'll know they're done when a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. While our cakes are baking, we can use this time to prepare our frosting. This is one of the most important stages in the process of making our cake. A cake without frosting is like a sky without stars. It is incomplete and lacks that special sparkle. The frosting is the crowning glory. It is what brings together all the elements of the cake, adding that final touch of sweetness. So let's get started. First, we need to gather our ingredients. We'll need butter, cocoa powder, powdered sugar, milk, and vanilla extract. The butter is going to be the base of our frosting. It provides the basic structure and lends a rich, creamy texture. Next up is cocoa powder. Cocoa powder adds that deep chocolate flavor that we all love. It's the star of our frosting, providing an indulgent, chocolatey goodness that perfectly complements the sweetness of the cake. Then there's the powdered sugar. The sugar not only adds sweetness, but it also helps to thicken the frosting, giving it that perfect spreadable consistency. When choosing your powdered sugar, make sure it is finely ground. The finer the sugar, the smoother your frosting will be. Now for the milk. The milk is essential in creating a smooth, creamy texture. It helps to loosen the mixture, making it easier to spread on the cake. The amount of milk can be adjusted depending on your desired consistency. If you prefer a thicker frosting, use less milk. If you prefer a thinner frosting, use more milk. Lastly, we have the vanilla extract. Vanilla extract is what gives our frosting that wonderful aromatic flavor. It adds a subtle hint of vanilla that enhances the overall taste of the frosting. Once you have all your ingredients ready, it's time to combine them in a bowl. Start by adding the butter. Make sure it's at room temperature. This makes it easier to beat. Then gradually add the cocoa powder and powdered sugar, alternating between the two. Add a splash of milk and a dash of vanilla extract, then beat the mixture. Continue to beat the mixture until it becomes smooth and creamy. This might take a few minutes, but it's worth the wait. You'll know it's ready when it's light, fluffy, and has a glossy sheen. It should be easily spreadable but still hold its shape. As a tip, always taste your frosting before spreading it on the cake. You want to make sure it's just the right amount of sweetness, and the flavors are well balanced. And of course, if you prefer a stronger chocolate or vanilla flavor, feel free to adjust the quantities to your liking. Combine butter, cocoa powder, powdered sugar, milk and vanilla extract in a bowl and beat them until you have a smooth, creamy frosting. When the cakes are ready, take them out of the oven and allow them to cool completely on a wire rack. This is a critical step and one that should not be rushed. The heat from the oven has activated the ingredients, causing them to come together in a harmonious blend, and cooling allows these flavors to fully mature. Time, you will find, is the secret ingredient in any recipe that you seek to master. As the cakes cool, you'll notice a distinct aroma wafting through your kitchen. It's the delightful scent of freshly baked chocolate cake, a smell that's both comforting and evocative. It's a scent that reminds us of our own childhoods, of special occasions, and of the warm, reassuring presence of our loved ones. Once they've cooled, it's time to begin the frosting process. You'll want to use a spatula to evenly spread the lush, decadent frosting on the first layer. It's an art, really, frosting a cake. It requires patience, a steady hand, and a keen eye for detail. As you spread the frosting, you're not just creating a dessert, you're creating a masterpiece. After the first layer is adequately frosted, gently place the second layer on top. A moment of precision, of careful balance. It's a pivotal moment, one that's filled with and a sense of achievement. Once the second layer is securely placed, repeat the frosting process, ensuring that the entire cake is covered in a blanket of sweet, creamy goodness. And now, the moment of truth. Your cake is frosted, your masterpiece complete. It before you, a testament to your skill, your patience, your passion for baking. And how beautiful it is, with its layers of moist cake and creamy frosting, a sight to behold and a treat to indulge in. And there you have it, a scrumptious, moist chocolate cake, ready for you to enjoy. We hope you'll try this recipe, and when you do, we can't wait to hear about your experience. Share your results with us, share your triumphs, your challenges, your joy. If you enjoyed this tutorial, do give us a thumbs up. Your support means the world to us. Subscribe to our channel for more baking secrets, more tips, more inspiration, more journeys into the wonderful world of baking. And please share this video with your fellow baking enthusiasts, because joy, like a good cake, is best when shared. Thank you for watching.